Hi guys, Coach Ed Haynes here to talk to you about the fitness program. Apologies, Coach Ant Haynes is away again, so I'll be taking over on behalf of him. Firstly, it's our third week post-open, and it's still in the accumulation phase. It's a third of 3 phases. Just generally what accumulation work means is it's generally higher volume, trying to accumulate more time under tension, particularly with our strength training. General focus for this next block. Continued development of upper body and lower body strength endurance. Strength endurance can also mean hypertrophy. Basically, we're trying to increase the size of your muscle cell at the moment so that when we get into heavier work, which will be coming up in the next block, we have a solid foundation to be able to handle that kind of volume and load. MAP. We're going to cover a few terms and pieces of terminology in this video, just so you guys are really aware of exactly what you're doing and when you see things on Wodify, what it really means. So MAP basically stands for max aerobic power. And what that is referenced to is energy system training. So typically when you see anything that's kind of between 3 to 5 minutes to 10 minutes or longer, that's typically what we refer to as MAP work. Now what MAP work means is it can either be cyclical or it can be mixed modal. For you guys in this next block, we're going to expose you to continued mixed modal work, which means a combination of things like single modality, cyclical pieces like rowing, assault bike, running, skipping, combined with the kind of fancy elements of CrossFit, I guess. So lunging, jumping, wall balls, kettlebell swings, all that kind of fancy stuff. Often you'll see on Wodify, you'll see a percentage written with the energy system training workout that's been prescribed for the day. So for example, you might see something like, you guys are going to do a 10-minute AMRAP at 85%. Now, a lot of times we don't really understand what that means, but what we're really referring to is a couple of things. Firstly, perceived effort. So if I was to ask you at the end of that work how it felt on a scale of 1 to 10, it should really kind of feel like, I guess, a 7.5 to 9 out of 10. If it's feeling like a 10 out of 10, to me that tells me you've gone a little bit too hard and you've gone away from the percentage we'd like you to work at. What 85% also means is that we'd like it to be repeatable and sustainable. All right, so 85% is sub-maximal work. So we're really looking for you to maintain a high pace for a prolonged period of time. And that's how we develop the aerobic system. If we start going over that, we actually tap into the anaerobic system and we don't quite get the dose response of exercise that we're looking for, which basically means we don't get the gains that we're trying to get after. So, little advice when we're doing training work and you see those percentages, pace and don't race. It's very tempting when we're in a group class and there's others doing the same work at us that we want to try and beat them, but I really want you guys to focus on your own game and making sure you're pacing according to what you're capable of. Training versus testing, I guess it's the same kind of conversation, is that right now we're in a big training phase. All right, we're not trying to smash you guys, we're not trying to beat yourselves up. I don't want you finishing every single workout on your backs in a puddle of sweat. There is going to be a time for that, and that's typically what we refer to as testing, which is when we want you guys to go really hard out and basically see where you're at. But there is a time and place, and now is not the time or place. Just a small little finishing piece. Before I move on to that, you guys will have continual touches on Olympic lifting. So Friday, you're still going to develop the clean and all the variations of it, power and full squat. On Thursdays, you're also going to start to see the introduction of push pressing back into your program. Quick reminder to finish off, mobility and recovery. It's really important. We only see you guys 5 to 6 times a week. And unfortunately, just for 1 hour a day, we don't have enough time to do everything we really want to do. So it's really important that you guys are doing your daily mobility and recovery protocols outside of the gym. Now, what that might look like, it might be yoga, it might be self-prescribed stretching and mobility that you do at home, or actually you come into the gym and do it. It might be following a really good mobility system like ROMWOD, which basically provides you your daily mobility practice, massage, stretch therapy, all that kind of stuff. Really important you guys are looking after yourselves and ensuring that we can get into the positions required for this sport, which is things like squatting. Can you overhead squat? Can you front squat? Can you back squat? Can you deadlift efficiently? Can you put a bar over your head, etc.? And you know, if you can't hit those positions, all you have to do is speak to one of our coaches and we can point you in the right direction. Other than that, guys, great work on the last block and keep it up.